guys, I am Dusty, and this is Chris.
Hello.
And we live in Nashville now, but we were members of Eastside for about 2.5, 3 years before we left. We used to live in the Village. We drove by Eastside literally every day. I was raised very strict Southern Baptist. I particularly really pushed the church away when I left home and got out on my own. You know, I don't have to detail those reasons. I think it's pretty obvious. But Chris kind of started pushing for us to start going to a church, and I just kind of brushed it off for a while, and I don't know, it was just kind of weird. One day I just woke up and said to myself, I think I need to do this. So we visited a few other places, and then one day we said, why haven't we just gone to this one that's right up the street from us? And we did, and we loved it, and everyone was so great, and we stayed there and got very involved, and we loved it.
So like Dusty said, my name is Chris. I lived in Atlanta for, 21 years. I had not really been involved in the church for most of that 20 years that I was in Atlanta, other than going to a couple of churches around holiday, Christmas, that you feel like you probably should go to church at Christmas time. But other than that, I really didn't attend any type of church on any regular basis until I ran into Eastside. We were driving down Moreland one day, and at that time there was a Black Lives Matter banner, and there was also a Pride banner, a rainbow flag, hanging from the church, and we drove by it. And I think we both looked at each other and were like, wait a minute, why haven't we gone to this church? It's closest to our house, and obviously from some of the banners that we saw from hanging from the front of the church, it's obviously a welcoming church and something that we're looking for. So I think the fact that we saw the fact that Eastside really supported equality on multiple areas, I think that's what kind of then drew us into Eastside initially, just from the outside, seeing the banners there. We got at least an initial sense of what Eastside was about, or at least what they supported.
We really connected well with the people in our core group, and having that social interaction, whether it was in person or whether it was over Zoom, was really helpful. And it was a really cool congregation in that there was young people, there was older people, there were people with kids. Like it was just a lot. It was a lot of fun, and it helped us grow in our faith very much.
That was very impactful to me, to experience a church that were the core, the main thing that the church believed in was that, we're here for you, and no matter who you are, God loves you, Eastside loves you. And I think that message was very impactful to me. Now that we've moved from Atlanta to Nashville, I will say the hardest part was not being able to be at Eastside every Sunday. For me, that was probably the hardest part of leaving Atlanta. But I think as we both are moving forward, we have found a church here in Nashville that is a very inclusive church, just like Eastside. They're a small church, but they've been growing rapidly just over the last year or so. And I think one of the biggest things they're looking for during their growth is opportunities to become engaged in the community. And so, we're starting to become involved in working with this church and developing their first core groups. We are now involved, or Dusty is involved with leading their first engagement team, their first food drive. So, what I'm excited about, looking forward to in Nashville and this church that we found in Nashville, is that we're taking a lot of things that we learned from Eastside, a lot of things that we were involved in at Eastside, and we're bringing those experiences to a new church and helping grow that church. So I can't say enough of what we learned from Eastside, because we're carrying that forward in the future.
Oh, can you see my pajama pants? Okay, because I don't want to look like I've got on pajama pants.